Hi, my name is Danielle Davis and I read, write, and roller skate in Los Angeles. Welcome to this writer's life where we peek into process. This episode is called Shoe Story, and that is what you are going to write. It's kind of like a true story, except this one is partly true and partly fiction or made up. And it's basically a writing activity that's going to have 8 lines that you can write on 8 different pages to create kind of a book that is your shoe story. The first thing that you need is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. It could be printer paper, it could be a page from your notebook, whatever you like. All you do is fold it in half once, and then fold it in half a second time again. And then you're gonna take some scissors and you're gonna unfold it again just for a second. Go ahead and where there's still a meeting place, you're going to cut that. And what that'll do is that'll create your booklet with 8 separate pages. So the very first thing to do is to choose your shoe. Is there a shoe that you own that you can tell this story about? It could be a shoe. It also could be another piece of clothing if you want to choose something else. It could be any item of clothing or accessory, or it could be a shoe for the shoe story. The very first page is the cover. Every cover has a title, and your title is going to be My Blank Shoe. The blank is just an adjective to describe it. For me, it's going to be my blue shoe. And I'm going to make it a little bit more specific for mine and say sneaker instead of shoe. So it might be something like this. It's going to be my blue sneaker. So that's the first page of this, which is just one line, and it's the title. My blue sneaker, or whatever shoe or object of clothing you have chosen. For each page, you're going to simply write one line. So the second page is going to have your second line. And that is going to be a little bit more description about your object. Tell us more about it. Is there a shape or pattern or smell? What is it like? Describe the object that you've chosen, the shoe or other piece of clothing, in one line. And that's your second page. The third page is going to be a line about the origin of that shoe or other thing that you have chosen. Where did you get it? When did you get it? Was it a gift? Who gave it to you? Give us one line that tells the origin of that shoe or object. The fourth page is going to be your feelings about that shoe or other object. Is this a pair of shoes that you're growing out of and that makes you sad? Is this your favorite shoe or object? Is it something you wish you had 10 more of in different colors? How do you feel about it? Does it carry the memory of someone who gave it to you, perhaps? The fifth page is where things take a turn. It is no longer a true story. On the fifth page, you're gonna write a line where you totally make something up, and you're gonna make up a magical power that your shoe or other object has. So what is something your shoe or object has the ability to do? The options are endless here, but just to give you an example for mine, it could be that my blue sneaker has the ability to jump super, super high on its own. There it is, one magical power that your shoe or object has. The sixth page is going to start one day. So that's how your line is going to start. On this one day, something bad's gonna happen. There's going to be a problem for this main character of yours, your shoe or object, where some problem happens with their magical ability. So they're doing their magical power and some disaster strikes. What is it? What's the problem? Just as an example, my blue sneaker might jump really high and get stuck on top of a building that had wet concrete, and now they're stuck. So what problem is going to arise from your object's magical power when they're using it? The next page, page 7, is going to be one line that is the solution to that problem. How does your shoe or scarf or ring or t-shirt or sneaker or whatever it is, how does it solve the problem that it's in? Do they get help from someone else? Do they solve it on their own? What do they do to get out of that problem? The 8th page is basically the outcome. It's the resolution or the end of your story. Where does your shoe or object find themselves at the end? Where are they going next? How do they feel? You can end this however you want. One line that is the outcome for your shoe or other object. And then you will have your shoe story completed. There's a PDF in the show notes to help guide you along. I hope that you will write a shoe story of your own on these 8 pages. Thank you for spending this time with me here on This Writer's Life. I hope you'll subscribe and join me for future episodes. Parents or educators, please check out my website where you can sign up for my newsletter, and that way you can get every new episode delivered directly to your inbox, as well as a PDF that corresponds to it if there is one.
Hi, my name is Sheetal Sheth, and I am an actress, an author, and a producer. I wrote a book called ALWAYS ANJALI. That was my first one. There are more on the way. My creative process, well, for me, writing is really about rewriting. My first drafts are awful, and I have a really hard time with them. So I always say to myself, just get something on the page, and then when I can get in there and rewrite and edit and fine-tune over and over and over and over. And when I say over and over, I mean like lots and lots of times, months, sometimes a year. Take the time to rewrite. That's where you find the gems. And I'd also just like to say, when you're thinking about what you want to write about, just remember that no one is you, and your point of view is what will make the story come alive. So if you wanted to write a story about going to get the perfect avocado from the store, you, Sally, is going to have a different experience versus Zachary or Michael or Emily or anybody else who might go get that avocado. Why was that trip different? It's because you took it and you were looking for it. And so remember that when you're writing. Your best tool is all the stuff you have inside. So thank you.